Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a great review here of the new lineup of the Super Select 2023 Scotty Cameron. There's a lot of changes going on, some structural things, just some movement of weight around the head. We've got all the blades, and then we've got the Golo. The Golo is an interesting one. They put this in the lineup again because it's so popular on tour. It's showing up 3 or 4 guys every week are showing up with a Golo. So that's back in. And then we have the 4 blades. We have the fastback, the Squareback. We have the Newport 2 Plus, and then we have the Newport 2. Now the Newport 2 Plus, you could see, is just a little bit wider than the Newport 2, offering a touch more stability. If we look at them from the back, you'll see that here in the toe width, there's just a little bit extra meat on that. The I-beam here that we have, they've taken out 10 grams of weight between the I-beam and moved it to the heel and the toe to make it more stable. The other thing they did was that they put a notch in the bending area, taking out some weight, but also so now when you bend the lie angle, it's going to bend from the proper area, not from the neck or somewhere else. So 10 grams have been moved around down to the heel and the toe for more stability. They've got a QR code on the shaft sticker that'll take you directly to a video describing all the specs and features of the putter that's in your hand. We're back in the Golo again, so we're gonna test all these guys out. I got my chalk line, I got my 3, 6, and 9 foot. We're gonna use our normal tools, we're gonna use the pill, and we're gonna use some regular golf balls, and we're gonna see in Coach Paul's estimation of who each putter might fit best. Let's get started. So we start with the Newport 2. We're gonna go from 3 feet. Again, we're judging the ability to stay down the line in terms of fit. Also gonna report back to you guys on feel. This new grip is similar to the 2022 Phantom line. As something interesting is that as the heads get bigger, the grips get bigger as well. We'll explain a little bit more. This is our thinnest grip. All right. Go one more, staying down the line pretty well. So something they did to the face, the milled face pattern here is they did a deep mill and then milled it down from the deep mill to a medium mill, they're calling it. It's definitely a different sound, different feel. That will all tell you about sound and feel. It's softer. It's not quite as clicky as the Camerons have been in the past. So definitely a different sound there. Right now the impressions are good from 3 feet. Sound-wise, that one was a user error. Again, much softer off the ball. I think it's an improvement. Let's look at the 6-footer. We're gonna go right to the regular golf balls for a second. See how well down the line this will stay. Nice. The sound, again, sound to me has improved. Much, much less clicky, softer, more, let's call it a buttery feel. Actually feeling closer to what like the Terillium felt. So milling is obviously something that will make a difference. Feel is sound plus vibration in the hands. Whoa, that was weird. Little wind. Good. Let's try the 9 foot. Little breaker there. Let's see what the old pills will do here, huh? Let's try it just a hair left with that little break. Interesting. We're on to the Newport 2 plus, so this is that bigger head. Get these pills lined up, see what it does. I know you guys are always curious in the fitting world. Definitely different. The head feels slightly lighter. Aluminum sole plate in there. No sole plate in the regular one. So obviously there's some kind of change. What that does obviously to each player is going to be different. So from 3 feet, again, testing the ability to stay down the line. Right, the pills are obviously going to be our tester for the blade, but in terms of efficiency and what it can do. But let's see what happens. What kind of rolls we'll get as we move further out. Shorter ones are always easier to repeat. Let's see longer ones. Keeping it down the line, right? That's the judge here. Definitely different. There's definitely a difference. I'm going to go right to the 9-footer here. Definitely a difference between those, the center having less weight, more weight out towards the toe and the heel. Interesting. And obviously, you know, you judge it as you get further. The further you get from the hole, obviously the variance in the weight can stand out more or less. So let's try one drill here, 1-2 pill drill from 9 feet. Interesting. Okay, so a little closed face. Let's move on to 2.5 plus. So this is that slant neck putter, but it's the plus size. So it's not the Newport 2, but it's a little bit bigger. So that weight is moved out. That aluminum sole piece is there as well. You know, we go back to the conversation that everybody loves so much about slant neck versus face balanced and plumber's neck. For me, I really struggled with plumber's neck to get putts online, and slant neck has been really nice for me. But we'll see what happens here. Bigger head again, weight in a different area, but for sure, if you look at the roll, that roll is pretty solid. So slant neck again for me, just every time I putt with slant neck, it just points to something. So head-wise, definitely I feel feels lighter. You can feel the weight out. Again, more to heel and toe, so maybe some stabilization there. Again, Scotty will talk about that as if you watch the video with him, some of the videos with him at the PGA show this year, he's kind of talking about it as like more stable, more for a straight back, straight through. So if you like the look of a blade, but you like the performance of a mallet, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Obviously, as I started talking about strokes, that one I felt like I took more outside, but let's see if I get one free flowing, 9 feet. Little shove, one more. I could definitely feel like when I'm putting, taking the stroke back a little bit longer, I could definitely feel the weight differential between that Newport and the Newport Plus. And then obviously as we get to the Squareback, there's going to be more meat behind it, right? So it's even bigger. So in terms of head weight, I'm not sure what the head weights are. They don't necessarily tell you, but a heavier head, we'll see what happens. Now we're going to be changing to a plumber's neck, so we'll take a look. But some interesting things going on here. So something I want to point out is right away, and this is they do on purpose, as the head gets bigger, here we are in the Squareback, as we get bigger, they made the grip bigger on this. And when we move into the mallet, it's going to be the biggest. So it's an interesting dynamic. I wonder exactly what it is that made them want to do it. But definitely interesting that the handle gets more progressively larger, right? So, and the left hand, you'll feel it a little bit more with that, I don't know, hatchet style grip. All right, let's go right away, 2-pill drill one more time, and then we'll go into take a look at it. Some longer putts with regular balls too. Interesting. Okay, let's put some longer ones, and then we'll do some 2-pill drills. Let's do 2-pill drill first, actually. Why not? So there is, I think the biggest thing for me right now that's standing out midway is the sound and feel. Right, I always felt they were a little harsh. Little extra weight helps Coach Paul, doesn't it? Feels like it. Yeah, I like that little extra weight. That one is lighter, that 2.5 plus is lighter than the Squareback. Notice who's pushing it. Who pushes it? Who leaves the face open from 9 feet? I do. Quitting on it. Better. Better. And then let's do one little 2-pill to find out here. Again, I typically, if I play a bigger head, like if we go back to the Fang video, the Fang with the plumber's neck seemed to work best for me. So maybe that's some of the feedback we're getting here too, so that as we get to the bigger, slightly heavier heads, and this feels similar to a Fang, but let's call it less severe. So if we look at the idea of, hey, what are other options like besides one putter? Maybe if you're close to a Fang with a plumber's neck, you might fit into a Squareback. So interesting stuff. Now let's go to the mallet, the Golo. Everybody's the super secret little favorite, I guess, for a lot of people. Kids, we are at the final stop on the Scotty Cameron tour. We are at that Golo, that mallet. Again, we got the weight pulled out here with the aluminum. Let's see what this guy does. I think that was a miscue here, honestly. One was ahead of the other by a lot. So let's get started. A little better. Okay, so now let's roll it from here. 6 feet. Interesting. This one does flow, right? I mean, it's got the slant neck on it. It's a lighter weight mallet, so you're looking at more sightline than anything else. That's an interesting little I mean, right here is going to be the bigger test, right? Because it definitely, I mean, it's as big as the head is, it doesn't feel like it's incredibly heavy. There's a little weird break. Watch what happens when I send this ball down the line. It's not going to go. Wow, so the Golo, huh? The Golo is like, looks like a mallet, feels like a blade. And the head, and that sight. Yeah. Now, I got this has my full attention right now. I got to tell you that. Let's see what this within assist, I can't. This face feels soft compared to the other Scotties. Interesting. No, I can't help it. I want to hit it. It's going to be a break, right? It's green. Come on, YouTube. See these greens breaking? right? So now I send it down the line and it's turn on. Definitely different in terms of feel, especially from long range. Long range is absolutely, feels much closer to the Turquoise. Awesome. And last one. I'm definitely interested in doing a putter fitting video. If you guys want to see that, comment below for sure. But overall, we're looking at what is going on with these putters, and I'll tell you what. This is very different. This is a super select, right? It's Scotty had said it was he wanted to not mess up something that was already super successful. And how do you improve that? I guess, sound and feel is huge. I like the movement of the weight, heel and toe. The Golo, I haven't had a Golo in my hand in so long, but now with that slant neck, it's a possibility. Some really interesting things here. All right, so Coach Paul, closing thoughts here. This is very different for Scotty. Without a doubt, sound feel, that's one of the big things that they're talking about. And I would say they've achieved that. Softer. The grip thing is nice, honestly. I mean, you may want to look at possibly requesting, if you do custom, requesting the bigger grip from the Pistolero to the Pistolinis. There is something there. I kind of actually like it bigger at the back end. So as the blades got bigger, I kind of like that feel. I don't always, I don't love those softer materials like the vinyls they were using in the Matador. Those are pretty good, but you tend to lose weight very quickly on those. So this was interesting. It almost feels like a mid-size in the left hand, but not in the right hand. So that Pistolero grip, I believe, is what they're calling it. It's definitely something different. The head shape, the head weight, right? When you get to the 2.5 plus, with the removal of that weight, I was a little surprised in the lightness of it. So if a wet putter does feel heavy, you might really like that. That could be a really good thing for you. The Golo was very interesting. Again, looks like a mallet, rotates and feels like a blade. Maybe that sight line on it can help you in the longer distances, left to righters. That's where you really want to test all these things. It's not just straight putts, right? Straight putt tells you the efficiency, but then the sight lines on the left to righters and things like that, that's for you guys to test. You've seen that in some of my other videos. But in terms of just a line, very different. And even within the blades, there's something there for you guys to test out. Always test, get fit. You can contact me. We could do fittings here at the Hills in Lakeway, just west and north of Austin. Remember, stay focused and keep practicing. See you on the next one.